How y'all doing out there? Left Lane here. I'm making another video. It's October 2nd, 2018. This is the review for the Georgia-Tennessee game. Your final score, Georgia 38, Tennessee 12. Not what I expected. The score was didn't really tell the story of the game. That last turnover, really hurt us. It would have been it wouldn't have been as bad. Only would have been 31-12, but can't do anything about that. They played good. I've said from week one I want to see improvement from game to game. Well, I saw improvement from the Florida game. They didn't quit. If they could have stopped that last long drive they had in the fourth quarter, they could have made this a game. So I got to give my hats off to them for staying in there and trying and showing improvement. I'm going to go ahead and get into the stats. Before I do that, I want to go ahead and get into the season stats. Currently, we're 102nd in offense. 102nd. 317 plays for 1,800 yards. We are 36th in total defense. That's 1,703 yards. That's given up 5.73 per play. We are 32nd in passing defense. Opponents are 73 for 129 for 913 yards. That's an average of 12.51 per completion, and 182.6 per game. And then we are 66th in run defense. 790 yards is what we've given up for 4.7 per play, per rush, and I've given up 8 touchdowns and 8 touchdowns on 8 touchdowns passing we've given up, and that's 158 rush yards per game against our defense. All right. Time of possession 23-33 to 37-27. That's an issue. You've got to be able to get the ball, and we just didn't have it a lot Saturday. First downs 11 to 26, 4 rushing, 5 passing, and 2 penalty. Georgia was 5. They had 15 rushing, 11 passing, Third downs 2 for 10 for 8 of 14. 2 of 10. Again, third downs has been an issue for this team. But again, you're going up against Georgia. It's kind of hard to expect great numbers when you're going up against Georgia. Now, fourth down 0-0, they were 1 for 1. Total yards 202 to 417. Total of 46 plays to 74 plays. That's 4.4 per play and 5.6 per play. 66 rushing yards to 251. We were 25 of 66. They were 50 of 251. That's 2.6 per rush and 5 per rush. Passing 136 to 166. We were 13 of 21, and they were 17 of 24. We gave up 2 sacks for 7 yards, and we had 3 sacks for 24 yards. Penalties were 5 of 25, and they were 6 for 40. 2 touchdowns to 5 touchdowns. We had 2 passing. They had 5 rushing. And we had 1 turnover, and they had 0. Some notable stats. Jerry Garantano, 13 for 21 for 143 with 2 touchdowns. Ty Chandler was rushing was 5 for 27. Tim Jordan was 6 for 21. And Jeremy Banks was 6 for 18. Not great numbers. Receiving, Ty Chandler, 4 for 53 for 1 touchdown. Josh Palmer, 1 for 37 with 1 touchdown. Marquez Callaway, 2 for 21. Juwan Jennings, 2 for 17. Georgia, Jake Fromm was 16 for 122, or 16 to 22 for 115 yards. Elijah Holyfield was 16 for 78, that's rushing. Brian Heron was 9 for 56. DeAndre Swift was 12 for 51 with 2 touchdowns. Justin Fields was 5 for 45 with 2 touchdowns. Medic Hardeman was 4 for 43, and Riley Ridley was 4 for 36 receiving. Got a bye week coming up. And then we play Auburn at Auburn. Auburn's got a good defense as expected. But I think this, I may sound crazy, but I think this is a winnable game for Tennessee. But they're going to have to find a way to run the ball. They're going to have to find a way for that offensive line. The defensive line isn't great, but the offensive line has to get better. 66 rushing. Now, you can't win in the SEC if you run for 66 yards. It's not going to happen. But I think this is a winnable game. Auburn's struggling offensively. And I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. I mean, they struggle to beat Southern Miss. So I don't know how good Southern Miss is. I mean, they're not a Power 5 school. I don't know. Now we're going to struggle offensively, and I think this is a winnable game for Tennessee. So I'm looking forward to it. And on the other end, we may get our asses kicked. But I'm proud of the boys for not giving up, for hanging in there when things weren't going their way. But I said at the first of the video, I see improvement in this team. I see us getting better in certain areas. Obviously, there's still a lot of work to be done. We need more talent. We need offensive line, third down conversions. The run defense. I mean, there's a lot of areas, but I see overall improvement from the Florida game. And, they need to use this bye week to get our guys rested up and get ready to go down to Auburn. But this game gives me optimism. I don't expect to win. I think the game is winnable next weekend. I'm not expecting to win. But it gives me some optimism. South Carolina, Kentucky, it's not South Carolina, Vanderbilt look like they might be winnable games now. I mean, Kentucky took it to South Carolina. So I'm very optimistic about those two. So that puts us at 5 wins. Now, a bowl game is reaching. A bowl game is really, really reaching. I mean, so your sixth win is either Missouri, Kentucky, Alabama, Auburn. We know Alabama's not going to happen. Auburn is very, very unlikely, so it's going to have to be Missouri. And Missouri's just a good football team right now, so I don't see it happening. 5 is doable. I think 5 is, after Saturday, I didn't think 5 could happen, but I think it's very, very possible. So anyway, I enjoyed the game. That 15 to 18 minutes where we were making our comeback, it was good to see. It was very, very good for the team. It was very good for their confidence, especially the next 2 weeks. Jared played a good game. I just don't know if he's the quarterback for this team. I think we could do better. So I don't know. We're just going to see how we go from here. I love Tennessee football. I love this game. I appreciate y'all watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time.